Hi, Jeff at Small Arms Research. Today we're shooting some steel. Hang around. Today we're testing out some Freedom Target System steel targets. They've got an enormous lineup. Today we're going to focus on just one, and as soon as we're allowed to tell you about the rest of them, when their patents are all finished up, we've got some stuff to show you that's going to be awesome. So let's get into a little bit of detail about why we like shooting steel targets and why you may like it too. The target system that we're working with today is the freestanding IDPA style silhouette. This particular target is 3/8 inch AR 500 steel, and although that doesn't mean anything to me, what I understand it means to translate to you is even though it's marketed for all pistol calibers, it'll take a hell of a lot more than that. This stuff is over-engineered. The target we're testing today is 3/8 inch AR 500 steel, and if you want to shoot rifle calibers, you can get the 1/2 inch system. If you want Magnum rifles, all the way up to the 50 BMG, then you can get the 1 inch. The only difference in them is the thickness. It's all AR 500 steel. And the AR 500 steel is known in the industry for being abrasion resistant and through hardened. So you're not going to have pitting problems that you might with some inexpensive or milder steel. With the Freedom Target Systems, the 3/8 inch stuff that we're using today would actually be suitable for small rifles, but they're over-engineering their product, so it will never be anything that you're disappointed with. It's great stuff, and you're absolutely not going to be disappointed. Make sure when you look at steel target systems that you look at the type of steel and you look at the thickness of steel, because there are a lot of disadvantages to going with something that's thinner and something that wasn't hardened to the point that this AR 500 is. The AR 500 being through hardened, where it's resisting the pitting and the warping, gives you a continuous surface for the rounds to hit on, and that way you have a predetermined impact area for your fragmentation. If you are dealing with stuff that is thin or not properly hardened, you could end up with pitting and warping, and that's going to cause the fragmentation to fly off sporadically into areas that you might not be prepared to take it in. Let's talk about some of the advantages of shooting steel targets over shooting standard paper targets. One advantage that comes to mind immediately is you have an instant audio feedback as to whether you got your hit or not. Your second advantage would be you lose the necessity to have to reset the target every time you hit it, especially with a freestanding target like this or with a resetting steel system. Neither of those are necessary. The third would be eliminating the necessity to have to stop your shot, and when you're shooting at distance, looking through your spotter scope to find out if you got a hit or not, because with this, your ears are going to tell you if you got the hit. Let's talk a little bit about safety. When people talk about shooting steel, immediately the thought of ricochet comes up, and that's very wise. Safety is something that's got to be at the utmost tip of absolutely everything that we do. And if you're watching this, you probably know that, and you also know that we're going to re-emphasize it. The minimum safe distance to shoot at a free-hanging target such as this with a pistol is typically 10 yards. The minimum distance you're going to want to shoot at it with a rifle or a carbine is typically 75 yards. So don't get any closer than that. You might end up with a little bit of spatter that you don't want. Again, safety is number one. With a properly manufactured target system such as this one, the AR 500 steel and the flat surface, when the round hits, it fragments immediately. And although you have a 360-degree radius that the fragmentation can travel, you'll never have more than a 20-degree deflection that it can travel back towards the shooter at. And again, going back to the 360-degree radius, you have to remember that although the fragmentation is much, much smaller than the projectile you threw at it originally, there's still weight involved and gravity takes over, and that's why we're going to be able to show you a big mess on the ground underneath the target system. All the shooting that we're going to do today is going to involve the use of sound suppressors, and what that's going to allow us to do is illustrate the noise from the target impact, and it won't be covered up by the noise of the round coming from the gun. So we're going to use suppressors, and when you hear a lot of noise, it's going to be because we did what we were supposed to do. At least that's the plan. Stick around. We've got numerous rounds into the steel at this point, and before we started we talked about deflection of fragmentation, and because it's snow we have terrific witness marks in the snow to be able to show you exactly what we meant. We've got an area in front of the target, and the furthest point that we see any visible fragmentation is inside of 7 feet. See that? What's coming off that target? I'll bring one in for a close-up. Even though it has the shape of a flattened out projectile, the weight really isn't there. You can see that it's wafer thin. And everything stayed within that beaten zone that we were asked to stay out of by quite a long shot. Okay, so remember, the particular Freedom Target Systems hanging target that we're using today is for pistol use only. And to me, this looks like a pistol. Follow me.
Send it.
This is where steel really gets cool. No question, all hits. Well, I guess we're done shooting for the day, and speaking for myself, I'm pretty damn impressed with the Freedom Target Systems target that we got to evaluate today. I can't wait to see the other offerings that they have going. One important note is the 308 that we were shooting into it was with subsonic ammo at a much greater distance, and the energy at the target was probably at or less than some of the pistols that we were shooting before. So don't take your 308 and start shooting at the pistol targets with it and call Freedom Target and complain because you saw somebody else do it online. That was Engel Ballistic Research 308 ammunition, 7.62 by 51. It's very, very, very accurate, and it's good stuff. We recommend it highly, and we'll be testing some of that in the future. So thanks a lot. Thanks for stopping back in and watching the video. If you like it, I hope you subscribe, and tell your friends about us, man. We're working really hard on getting better. Take care. Hope you enjoyed it.